Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your man, Big Sam, with the Crew 412. You already know how we do. Don't pay no attention to this cat right here. He does not matter. It's all about me, all right? We're on the set of Hercules Didn't Wade in the Water here at the Pittsburgh Playwrights Theater, 937 Liberty Avenue, starring your boy. You already know what it is. So let me see what else I gotta do. Oh, I need to intro this guy. What is his name again? No, I'm just playing. We're here today with my man, Travis Malloy. Give it up for him. Everybody clap. We don't have no sound in the back or nothing. All right, cool. Travis, what's going on, man?
What up?
He is so disgusting. He clapped for himself. That's ridiculous. So let's get into it, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, you know what? My name is Travis Malloy.
We got to that point.
Singer, songwriter, producer, native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Of course, we all, like everybody, started in church and graduated from the Pittsburgh High School for the Creative and Performing Arts, which kind of gave me my passion to not just be a singer, but to, take it to the next level as a profession. So that's when I kind of started writing and producing for myself as well as other people. And we just been turning up ever since.
Cool, dig it. So I've been following your career, not like on a stalker level, but just as a fan. And if it gets to be, a little strange, don't even worry about that. I'm not like following you, nothing.
I got you.
But all your albums, I bought them. I got your poster. No, I'm just playing. No, so you've done work with Kiki Sheard,
yes,
her brother.
Yes.
A lot of people, man. Just tell us a little bit about that.
I again started in church and doing a performance one day. I was introduced to J. Drew, and I performed live that night, actually at a big church convention, and that's where I was introduced to him and his sister Kiera, and he co-produced my first album in 2009. We dropped that, and that's kind of how I got my start in the industry. Through him, going to Detroit every week, recording and stuff like that. And then years later, I ended up signing with a mogul, Corey Rooney, former vice president of Sony. And I signed a production deal with him for about 2 years, and we did a lot of work, released my first mixtape, did a few shows, worked with Fred Jerkins and Dark Child.
Dark Child
John
Entertainment.
Yeah. And then from there, I kind of spun into the whole mainstream market. Not that I've had to choose or pick between church and secular music, but it's more so when you are considered a religious artist, it kind of puts a cap on your audience and who you can reach. So I wanted to kind of break down barriers, and what I love about Jesus is that he went to where the world was. He was out of the four walls of the church, and I believe that God trusts me to go and be a light amongst darkness. So I'm doing love music and inspirational music, and Jesus is my confession, my career is my profession.
Dig it, I like that, When you said that, it reminded me of the scripture in the Bible where he said, healthy people don't need a doctor, sick people do.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa.
And that's a part of the problem with the church, and we've turned into, we have meetings. We've turned more into a cult because we're the same people talking to each other instead of going out and trying to get people to come and believe what we believe and worship who we worship. So my job is to go out and show a different side of ministry, because to me it's all ministry. It's funny because I was out of town a couple months ago, and I was walking, and some guy looked at me. He was like, "Yo, you need some weed?" And I said, "No, I don't do that." And he was like, "What do you do?" I said, "I do music." He's like, "You don't need weed to do music?" I said, "No, I don't need that." You know what I mean? So it's just, and I'm not saying that that's a part of darkness, but it's just like showing you I don't have to be under the influence to do and be who God created me to be.
Under that influence.
Under that kind of influence.
I feel you, man. I feel you on that, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy because, a lot of times people will be like, "You don't smoke weed," or "You don't do this," or "You do that." I'm like, "No, I don't do that." And they be like, "Well, what do you do for fun?"
Right.
Wait a minute. They be like, "Oh, you don't do none of that, you lame." I'm like, wait, you don't think it's lame that you have to do all that other stuff in order to have fun?
That means it ain't a real gift.
That means you're lame.
That means you're lame.
Because you need all of that. I don't.
I was in a studio in LA, and I was creating on the spot, and I was turning up, doing all what I do. The guy was like, "Man, I can't believe you can make this kind of music not high." I mean, they have to be under the influence, a lot of people, to do that. And I just, when it's a gift from God, you don't have to do that. I don't need extra help.
Like, I give you an example. Outkast, right? they talked about how Big Boy and Andre 3000 didn't even ride in the same van.
Wow.
Like the tour bus was different because things that Big Boy did, Andre didn't do. So Andre, who I think is probably the best who ever did it, his mind is somewhere out of this galaxy.
Yep.
And for him to be able to do that without being under those type of influences is amazing. So to me, he's like just proof that you don't have to do that or be under those type of influences. That's what's up.
I'm out here to show him another side.
Yeah. So like you said, you don't want to just be considered a gospel artist and put yourself in that box. So give me 3 gospel inspirations and 3 secular inspirations.
Okay. Well, my first gospel inspiration is John P. Key. That he's probably number 1 as far as what I do. John P. Key, Kurt Franklin, and I would have to say Karen Clark Sheard.
Okay.
Are some of my biggest gospel inspirations. As far as the secular music is concerned, I would have
R.
to
Kelly.
say R. Kelly is number 1.
I knew that was coming.
R. Kelly is definitely number 1.
Right.
I would just say Tank.
I was gonna say that.
Charlie Wilson.
Okay. Oh man, Uncle Charlie, cold-blooded.
Those are, it's just my music idols.
Dig it.
And for what I do, they've inspired everything that I do.
What do you think about Jonathan McReynolds? You down with him?
Yeah. I think he's good. I think he's good for this generation, and to me, he's bigger than gospel music. He is a recording artist,
right?
And he sings about love and the love of God. So I think that it's imperative that we have more artists like him.
Right.
That you can't box in. You know what I mean? He's somebody that you can put on tour with Kirk, and he's somebody you can put on tour with John Legend.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm out here trying to do.
Yeah, I could think you had mentioned something about him singing about love, and the new album you have is called Love Languages, right? And I heard, like, that's probably, not to say that's my favorite song off of that album because I didn't listen to the album, I'm just lying. But no, I listened to that song.
Right.
And I listened to other songs on the album too. I like that because it reminds me of the book, The 5 Love Languages.
Exactly.
And now that I'm older and after I read that book and I've got introduced to it, I'm like, wow.
Right.
Like a lot of stuff that I've did in the past was like a waste of time. And I might have thought that I was loving someone properly because I was better than who they had in the past, but it wasn't the way that they needed to receive love.
Let me tell you something. The love languages, I think the world needs it. The world needs it. It is the most impactful thing that I have ever experienced in my life. I was in a relationship for the last 4 years. We're not together anymore, but
what you do?
You know what I did? I just was being myself.
Oh, that's how you messed up.
You're not supposed to be yourself.
That's how you
I was just being myself, and it didn't work.
Right.
But in that 4-year process, I have a god sister who she would kind of be our counselor, and we would be on 3-way, fighting and arguing, and she would be like, "No, this is what you." And she broke down the love language to me, and that's how my album ended up being named Love Languages because you can't love me if you don't know how to love me.
Right.
So my love language is acts of service.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
But her love language was quality time. So when I was sending her money, because it was a long distance situation, so when I was sending her money to pay car notes and phone bills and feed her and stuff like that, it was like, to me, it looked as if she didn't appreciate it, but it was really because she did appreciate it, but that's not how she interprets love. Love for her is being there.
Right.
And and at the moment I wasn't able to completely be there because of my career. So it was just like I felt unappreciated, but the truth is she just wanted me to be there. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that that's why we broke up, but those are one of the situations that really stuck out where I was able to learn, wow, you could be doing so much and you think that you're doing your thing, but really it's not good enough.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Why do you feel like acts of service is your love language?
Acts of service is my love language. I think that love languages stem from how you were raised. And I get it from my mom.
Okay.
My mom's act of love language is bringing gifts, showering us with gifts, or cooking every morning, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My mom was the kind of person where when we were growing up, we didn't have Valentine's, so she would get us cards and chocolates, and Happy Valentine's Day, kid. So that was like, I identify, I had an affectionate mom. You know what I mean? So just, my mom would be at the mall and just come home and say, "Hey, I bought you some socks and drawers." Just just because.
People don't understand how important that is.
That's just very important. So that's how I am. Just something. Hey, here's some lotion and deodorant.
Right.
Here's a rose. You know what I mean? So that's just how I identify with it.
Cool. So I'm seeing you right now rocking the Steeler hat. You know, Steeler boy, right?
All day.
Tell me what it is about Pittsburgh that you feel like may have influenced your music.
The support. Pittsburgh is, to me, it's a close-knit city because specifically the music side, because it's a small market. It's not a music city.
Okay.
So because there are talented people in here, sometimes we try to stick together. And I came up in the era of, you know, the Mac Miller and the Wiz Khalifa, when we all started in the same studio together.
Right.
ID Labs on Butler Street in Lawrenceville. And so I used to be in one room with my choir and my gospel singers, and he'd be in the next room smoking weed, and I go home smelling like weed. My mom was like, were you all singing worship music? Why are you coming home smelling like Endo?
Where'd you get it?
So it was, you know, but it was a phenomenal experience. So to even watch Wiz, you know what I mean? You know, sitting on the floor in the studio with his team building, you know, and to see him now. So it continues to inspire me. Cool. So I think, you know, just being family oriented, you know what I mean?
So what would you say was your most embarrassing moment as an artist?
Oof.
You're that good. You don't have any.
You know what? I think one of my I have a couple. I think my first embarrassing moment is forgetting the words to songs that I've written.
Okay.
And the second one was at church. And it was Sunday morning. And I said, how's everyone feel tonight?
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, 8 a.m.
What was you doing the night before when you said that?
Tired. You know, I'm a member of Mount Airy Baptist Church.
Right.
Shout out to my pastor, Pastor Curtis. And I, you know, when you do that, you got to do Saturday night and 3 services on Sunday morning.
Shutting in
so by
out
the time
loud.
it was 7:30, it's 8 o'clock. And I'm like, you know, come on, let's give God glory tonight. And I was like, whoo, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Everybody was looking at me. So, you know,
tonight.
But, you know, as an artist, you're thinking about the words, you're thinking about engaging the audience. It's so much going on in your head. So I think that, you know, the pressure turns up when you're on stage.
So, what advice would you have for up-and-coming artists?
Stay focused. Stay focused and believe in what you believe God has called you to do, no matter what it is. Because everybody's not going to believe like you, and everybody's going to not believe. Everyone's not going to believe on the same level you believe. You know, so my passion was not to go straight to college right after high school. I wanted to jump straight in the music industry.
Okay.
But of course, people around me is like, if you don't go to college, you're going to be on welfare.
Right.
If you don't go to college, you're never going to make it. You know what I mean? So you have to be confident in what you believe your purpose is on this earth.
Okay. Dig it. So, tell us about, you know, how people can reach you and what you have coming up.
You can reach me on Instagram at Travis Malloy, Travis Malloy. You can get me on my website, MalloyEnt, MalloyEnt.com. You can hit me up on Twitter. I'm on everything, YouTube, Facebook, The Real Travis Malloy. We're working on a new album right now entitled, I'll tell y'all later.
Okay.
Stay locked.
What you got out right now that they can get?
Right now, you can go to iTunes and get Love Languages by Travis Malloy. You can get that. It's a phenomenal album. It's an EP, 8 songs, fully written and produced by myself and a couple other writers that I included. But it's phenomenal. But I'm telling y'all, be on the lookout and stay with me, because this next album, this new single we're getting ready to drop is going to be crazy.
Crananas.
For now.
All right, this is the most important question of this interview. What is the cheat code for Contra Unlimited Men?
I've never heard of anything that you just said.
That shows that you're like 12.
Definitely.
Yeah, no problem. So we're gonna wrap this thing up, y'all. Once again, here with my guy Travis Malloy. You're here with us with the Crew 412. Make sure you check us out on everything. We'll put some links up somewhere, and y'all find out how to get in contact with us. All right? Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Ask me that question again.
No. Contra. What is Contra?
Jesus. Jesus.